children, welcome back to the class. That is your refraction of light on the plane surfaces. We have learned in our previous class about the Snell's law. Yes. Now in this video we are going to learn about the total internal reflection, and as we have already discussed, if the light is passing through the from the rarer to the denser medium, you can say that the refraction angle of refraction is less than angle of incidence. But if the light is coming from the denser to the rarer region, then the angle of refraction is greater than the angle of incidence. Okay, so this is an important point you have to remember always. Rarer, if the light is passing from rarer to denser region, then you can say that the angle of refraction is less than angle of incidence. If the light is passing from the denser region to rarer region, then you can say that the refractive index is greater than refractive angle of refraction is greater than angle of incidence. So for this you can see this video. Here I have shown what is happening when the light is passing through different angles. Okay, you can see the different angles of incidence you can see here, and you can have different angles of incidence here and refraction here, right? So you can see that when you are passing this light, the light is little getting bended, and it is moving round, right? So if you see that in this video, you can see that how the light is passing, how the light is getting, it is getting see the rays of what you are getting, where the refraction index is coming and where the angle of incidence and angle of refraction is formed. You can see clearly with this activity how the rays is passing from the incident angle and what refraction ray you are getting there. Okay, angle of refraction you can see. So this is the way how we are going to perform the activity. Okay, so if we see, suppose this is the medium. Okay, this is your air, that is your rarer medium, and this will be your water. Okay, so that means it is denser medium, right? This is the water region. Okay, this is the water region, so we will assume it as, so this is your nothing but denser region, right? So this is your denser region, that is water. This is your rarer region, right? So and we will mark one normal. Fine. So now when the light ray is falling from here, from the rarer region, okay, you can expect the rays to bend towards the normal, right? It will seem, suppose if it is passing, it should be straight like this, right? So the ray should be like this, straight, the refracted ray. But you will see that it will be little bend towards the, it will be bending little towards the normal, right? It will be bending towards the normal. So this is nothing but your angle of refraction, and this is your angle of incidence. So this you can say that when the when the ray is passing from the rarer region to the denser region, there is, you can say that angle of incidence is more than the angle of refraction. Okay, angle of incidence is more than angle of refraction because it is moving towards the normal. So if we'll see, like now we have seen this when the ray is passing through the rarer region to denser region. Now we will see what is happening when the ray is passing from the denser region to the rarer region. So we'll see that, suppose this is your ray. Okay, when this is passing, it should be here like this, right? It should be like this, but you will see that the ray is not actually like this. It will be like this, somewhere like this. Okay, so this will be your, like this is your angle of incidence, and this will become your angle of refraction. Okay, this is your angle of refraction. So that means the angle of incidence is less than angle of refraction. So that is angle of refraction is greater than angle of incidence. when it is coming to the point of denser to rarer. Okay, when it is passing from denser to rarer, then you can say that angle of refraction is more when compared to angle of incidence. If in this case you can say angle of refraction is less than angle of incidence, you can write here angle of incidence refraction is less than angle of incidence in this case when it is passing from rarer to denser. When it is passing from denser to rarer, you can say that it is, here you can say that the angle of refraction is greater than angle of incidence. So now as we know, this is your rarer region, right, and this is your denser region, right. So now when we are passing the rays from denser to rarer region, okay, so for example, we will take that we'll start with an angle of incidence equal to 0. Okay. So this is your 0 ray. Suppose this is your 0 ray. Okay. When you're passing it, you don't have like anything. So when you start from 10, suppose this is your angle here, it is somewhere 10, 5 or 10. We'll take it as 10. So this is your ray which is passing. So what is happening when it is passing through your this one normal, you will see that the ray bends little. So actually the ray should be, when it is going like this, it should be like this, right, like this, right, but it forms, the ray which forms is somewhere like this. Okay, it will be closer to the refractor, normal. Okay, similarly suppose your ray is somewhere like this at some, if you take some like 30 degrees. Okay, so the ray which is coming out should be like this, right, but actually formed ray is somewhere like this. It will be little away from the, so this will be your ray angle of refraction. Okay, so little bend it will have. Suppose you are having the angle of incidence or your incident ray here, suppose this is your 50 degrees. So that means your refractive that is in refracted ray should be like this, right, straight line, but actually it will bend a little and it will form here somewhere like this. So this is your, this will be your refractive angle of refraction. Okay, similarly if you go some more, you will move, suppose it is 60 degrees, you will see that the refraction index this is your incident ray. So if you suppose it should be like this somewhere straight line, but you will see that it is somewhere like this. Okay, so the incident ray form is on your 90 degrees. Okay, suppose the incident ray, so this will be your incident ray, incident angle. This is your incident ray. The angle formed between the incident and the normal is your incident angle. Now the angle formed between the incident and the refraction ray is nothing but this is your angle of refraction. Okay, so this is nothing but it's at 90 degrees. So the angle which is formed at 90 degrees is nothing but it will become critical angle. Okay, it will be critical, very critical stage, because we don't know after this the ray is going to be in this side or this side. It is going to bend. As we have seen in the video, what did we see? The light is again coming here. Again it will slowly move back when the rays we are passing like this. Okay, so that means here the angle formed between the normal and the refracted ray is nothing but your refraction ray, which is at 90 degrees. Then it is called as critical angle. So it is called as critical angle. So this is nothing but your critical angle. I'll draw here. This is your rarer region. This is your denser region. Okay, this is your denser region. This is nothing but your denser region. So now when your angle, when the ray, suppose this is your some ray, this is nothing but your angle of incidence. Okay, this is at some angle and the ray formed should be actually like this, right? It should be like this straight line, but it has formed in this 90 degrees. Okay, so this is called as critical angle. Fine. I hope it is clear what is critical angle now. So this angle is called as angle of incidence is called as critical angle. Okay. So this critical angle takes place only when the light ray passes from the denser region to the rarer region. For this, if for the angle of incidence, let R be the angle of refraction. Okay, angle of incidence and angle of refraction. So now from this we have learned the Snell's law, right? In that, what did we learn? We learned that N1I sin I is equal to N2 sin R, right? N1 angle of incidence is equal to N2 R angle of refraction, which is nothing but we get N1 by N2 is equal to R by angle of incidence, right? So we know that N1 by N2 is equal to 1, right? We know that N1 by N2 is equal to 1. So angle of refraction by angle of incidence is greater than 1. Okay, angle of incidence, angle of refraction by angle of incidence is greater than 1. Okay, so we conclude that the angle of refraction is greater than the angle of incidence, that is R is greater than 1. As I have already said, angle of refraction is always here greater than angle of incidence. Okay, angle of refraction is greater than, in my first starting of the class only I said you that angle of incidence, when the ray is passing from rarer to denser to rarer region, you can say that angle of refraction is greater than angle of incidence. So now let C be the critical angle. As we know now what is critical angle, right? The angle formed between the normal and the incident ray, where we are getting reflection as 90 degrees, right? When we are getting reflection as 90 degrees, then we get, that is from N1 by N2 is equal to sine angle of refraction is what, 90, by angle of incidence is what, C. Okay, so then we get sine C, that is angle of, that is critical angle, is equal to N2 by N1. Okay, so as we know N2 by N1, here nothing but it is called as refractive index of denser medium, right? So we can simply write as angle of incidence, critical angle is equal to 1 by N, that is nothing but the refractive index of denser medium. Fine. So now what is total internal reflection? Internal means in that only, somewhere in that only some reflection is taking place. So how we will learn that? So till here we have learned that some angle is there, critical angle is formed, where we have seen that there some critical angle is formed where we have seen that the 90 degrees is reflection is seen, right? 90 degrees reflection is seen, that is angle of reflection is 90. Now after this also there is some point, right? We can pass more rays. So if you see that after this also, after this critical incidence, that is critical angle, that is incident ray at this critical angle, more greater than this, yani more than this, if after that we are going to take any, see more this angle is increased, then you see that the ray is not going straight like this. Okay, it will start, turning like this. Inside only you are going to get the reflected ray. Okay, you'll get here refracted ray. So you'll see that when the angle, incident angle, this is now your incident angle, right? So this incident angle is more, that is greater than the critical angle. You will see that the rays will start refracting in the denser region only, because we know now this is the denser region, right? This is your denser region and this is your rarer region. So you will see that the rays will be starting coming in the rarer denser region only. They are not coming in the rarer region now. They are coming here, they are getting back, they'll get reversed in this they will get reverse in this here. Okay, they'll come back here in the denser region only. They will not go like this, they will not go straight like this. Suppose for example, see, when we are taking this, it should go like this, right? The ray must be like this, but you see that the ray is reflecting back, it is not going here in the rarer region. So this is nothing but it is called as total internal reflection. Okay, because the ray is not coming in the rarer region, it is internally in the denser region only. You can see that in the denser region only the rays are the refracted rays can be seen. This is called as total internal reflection. So now if we see an experiment activity, that is if we are taking a glass and we are filling and we are keeping a coin under it. Okay, we are taking a glass, transparent glass, or you can take a glass made up of which is transparent, and just place a coin here. Okay, we are just placing a coin here. Fine. Now you, yes, it is visible to us, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to add water. Continuously we are going to add water until the coin is visible to us at the top of the surface. Here, suppose this is the top of the surface of water. Okay, until the coin of a coin here it is visible, we are going to add water. So when the coin is visible to us, when the image of the coin is formed on the surface of water, that means that is the total internal surface, total internal reflection of this coin, which is visible to us now. Okay, total internal reflection. This is nothing but total internal reflection when we are seeing from top. Okay, from when we are seeing from here. If you see from side, if you observe from the side view, what will happen, you are from here, when you are standing and you are adding water, you will see that the coin is visible to you. Okay, when you stand from side, you, when you observe from the side here, suppose you are standing here and you are observing. Okay, and you are observing and it is visible to you, nicely you can see this. But after you started, adding water, then you will see that after some time the coin is not visible to you. Suppose you're coming in front and seeing from the top, the coin will be visible because the image is formed here. But when you're standing from side and you're observing the coin, you will see that after some time the coin will become invisible to you. That means that is because of the total internal reflection of light ray from our eyes. Similar thing happens when the mirages are formed, like see, wherever you have small amount of water surface, there you see there is no dense, but still you will find the images of the objects present nearby to it. Like some images are formed at the surface of the water. It is not in depth, the water is not in depth, but still you can see the image. How that is happening? Because of the total internal reflection. There also what happens, the refractive, for example, in a summer season you will see that so many trees are there, but the temperature is very hot. Okay, so the air just above the surface of hot, that is, this is your land. Okay, so here is your tree. Okay, suppose this is your tree and you will see that this land above the surface is hot. So this is hot here, and the whatever the air is present, like above region, you can see that this air is a little cooler. Okay, and here you can see that it is hot. Fine. So it means that the temperature decreases with height. Fine. When it is coming depth, you can find that this is the temperature increases here, and here that means there is a decrease in temperature whenever you are going up. When you are going up, you can see that here you can find the hot temperature, but here, because you can see that in the higher like level of atmosphere, you can find here it is a cool temperature. So as a result, density of air increases with height. We know that refractive index of air increases with the density. Okay, refractive index, what happens? It increases with the density. As it increases with the density. So thus the refractive index of air increases with height. Yes, as you can see, the temperature decreases with height, so refractive index increases with height. Okay. So the cooler area at the top has greater refractive index, and here the hotter area have the low refractive index. So what happens? The light travels fastest to the thinner hot air through the denser cool air. Okay. What happens? The light easily passes through the hot region. Okay, because it is having less refractive index, and it slowly passes through the, you know, high refractive index. It slowly passes. Where there is high, the here refractive index is more because it is increasing with the height. So you can see that where there is less refractive index, you can see that the rays, the light which is passing is also very slow. Whereas where it is hot, you can see that it is passing very fast. Okay. So the when light falls from the tall object such as a tree or from the sky through a medium just above the road. So you can see that this is a medium, just you have a little amount of water here, simply a little, very little amount of water you have. So when the light is passing, you can simply see that there is an image formed. What we can see is this image. This is nothing but a curved path is formed here. Okay, so you can see that a curved path is formed here, and where we are standing, you can see that the image here, it is available to us, visible to us. Okay, so this is the ray which is formed, which is visible to us. This is because of the total refractive internal reflection, total internal reflection. Hence we feel an illusion being present on the road. We feel that some illusion is present on the road, which is inverted to the image of the tree on the road. So what are the applications of this total internal reflection means? You can see the diamonds are very brilliant, right? So brilliance of this diamond is nothing due to but total internal reflection. The critical angle of the diamond is very low. It is around 24.4 degrees. So the angle of critical angle is nothing but 24.4 degrees. So if a light ray enters a diamond, it is very likely to undergo total internal reflection, which makes the diamond shine. Okay, so the shining, that is the brilliance of the diamond, is due to the total internal reflection. So this occurs because of when the light falls on the diamond, you can see that there occurs a total internal reflection, and that's why the shining, we can see the shining, which the rays which are coming out of the diamond. Similarly, we have optical fibers which are made up of, so many which are very thin fibers. Okay, they are very thin fibers which are made up of glass, or we can have plastic fibers also, but they have the radius about a micrometer. Okay, they have a radius about micrometer. So a bunch of such thin fibers form a light pipe. A small light pipe will have, okay, which is called as microfiber. So if we see, suppose some light is traveling from here, okay, and it is passing to one region which is again a reflected one. Okay, again from here we see one reflected ray is formed at one angle. Again we see one reflected ray is formed at one angle. So simply it is reaching here. Okay, so if here you see that the ray is at suppose 100%. Okay, the light which we are receiving is 50%. So the ray which is light which is passing through this and coming out is less, right? So what is happening here? They are getting refracted at few surfaces. So similarly it happens here when the light is passing from here. What is happening? The light, suppose here light is passing, so this will get reflected here. So when from here it gets reflected here, then again it gets refracted here. Simply it gets refracted like this. Okay, after getting refracted, it reaches out of the fiber. Okay, it reaches here after from the optical fiber pipe. Okay, this shows the principle of light transmission by an optical fiber. Because of small radius of fiber, light going into its makes a nearly glancing incidence on the wall. The angle of incidence is greater than the angle of critical angle. Hence total internal reflection takes place. This light is thus transmitted along the fiber. Along all organs of human body are not accessible to the naked eyes of the doctor, right? For example, our intestine. So the doctor inserts an optical fiber pipe into our stomach through the mouth. Okay. Then the light is sent down through one of the fiber into the pipe. This illuminates the inside of the stomach. Whatever problem we have in our stomach, that will be illuminated on the screen. Okay. So the other importance of application of fiber is optics to transmit communication signals through light pipes. For example, about 2000 telephone signals appropriately mixed with the light waves may be simultaneously transmitted through a typical optical fiber. The clarity of the signal transmitted in this way is much better than the other conventional methods. Next, we will see the refraction through a glass slab, which will be explained in the next video. Thank you for watching.